Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, family? What's going on? This is your boy Terrence, and I got my co-host Tamu. She will be here shortly. She went to go get her paperwork. We're going to talk about community building tonight. All right. First of all, I just want to say peace, shalom, hotep, all that good stuff. You know, the conscious people know what I'm talking about. And for the ones who aren't conscious yet, please pay attention because it's going down. All right? So now tonight we're going to talk about community building. We're going to be talking about building our communities for the better purposes of our children, both young and old. And I just want to say peace to my sister Tamu. She's online.
Peace, Brother Terrence. How you doing this evening?
I'm good, sister. How was your day?
Oh, wonderful.
Good. Good,
thanks.
All right. We're going to talk about some community building, community engagement, and social capital lenses. Before we get started, though, I just want to say community building is for everyone. One person can start the adventure, but it takes a community to make it start working, to make it recognizable, and then it takes a nation for it to come to life. All right, I want that to stick with y'all, and I want y'all to pay close attention to this here. If you want to give us a shout-out, or if you guys want to make a comment, please call in 347-327-9705. Once again, it's 347-327-9705. All right? So first off, we're just going to start by saying, why do we have to build better communities in the African community? Is it for jobs, raising a family, education, training in certain types of fields, African spirituality, or becoming a better husband or wife, a better family man or a better family woman? Why? What do you think about that, Sister Tamu?
Well, I think first it's an excellent question. And it should be a question everyone is asking themselves, especially right now, considering the most recent events that have been publicized about our community. We've seen a lot of shootings.
Yeah.
And for me to just be honest with you right here, brother, this ain't nothing new. But like the way in which they're portraying it on TV as if this hasn't been happening for decades.
I agree. Yeah.
So I just think for multiple reasons it's a wake-up call, and this is a excellent question, number one, to start trying to find a really good answer to. I mean, some of the reasons you listed, medical care and education, training, I mean, none of them reign supreme over the other. They're all important in community.
Correct.
And if we want to have a voice and feel like we are owners of our own destiny,
right?
You know, in terms of, you know, we are the ones responsible for the images of ourselves that are being put out in the media. You know, we have our own resources,
right,
and what have you. Then we definitely want to reanalyze how our community looks right now. I mean, what do you think about we really need to reanalyze what our community and what we've done so far?
I think first of all, what I have to say is that everything that I listed here is dealing with the laws of Ma'at. Mm-hmm. It's about staying in balance, right? Because you all know if you have too much of something, something's going to break down or something's going to fail, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And what I have to say is that I think we need education, first of all, mm-hmm. and finances. We need to have finances, and that comes with community building. Now, some people will say, well, what is community building? Getting out there, having fun and all that. No, it's not. That is not community building. For everyone who don't know what community building is, community building is a field of practices. And what I mean by practices, that could go to any type of anything that you want to get yourself in, as let's say as far as a trade. It could be even driving a cab, right? That's a practice. You're trying to be the best cab driver. It's the building. It's a field of practices directed toward the creation or the enhancement of communities amongst individuals within a regional area with a common interest. So some people call it hoods, some people call it neighborhoods. Take you and 5-6 people, right? Your boys or your girls, and you guys go out there and say you want to do a paper route. That's community practice. That's community building. Everybody has a route. Everybody comes in. All the money that they made, they put it into a pot. At the end of the week, you've been and made your money, and you split it up amongst yourselves. So say if someone makes $50, someone makes $60 on this paper route, you come in, you put all that money in one pot, and you split it amongst yourselves. That's community building, right? That's being equal, right? Then you have community engagements. The community engagements are friendly relationships amongst family and friends. I just got through telling you that's what community building is, and community engagement is the same exact thing, except the only thing is that now it's a practice that's going to go down from generation to generation. This here goes into bringing in trust within everybody, right? Then you have the social capital lenses, right? Those are the 3 topics: community building, community engagement, social capital lenses. What a social capital lens is, it creates a sense of belonging, thus enhancing the overall health of the community. You want to flourish? You want your own little Africa? You want your own Black Wall Street again? This is what you have to do. We don't need no more armchair revolutionaries. We don't need anyone standing up and just talking. You have to put yourself to work. You have to get your family members. You have to get your friends to work. Don't just get anybody. Don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of people who don't want to do anything or just don't like doing what they're doing, or maybe just in the wrong field. Some people may have a calling to be a teacher, but then again, they may want to sell insurance. It's not their thing. You have to find your niche, and you have to work on it. What do you think about that, T?
Well, in terms of the 3 topics, you have community building, community engagement, and the last one, social capital lenses. I would put social cultural.
Oh, okay.
Social cultural capital lenses.
Yeah. And
the reason I would say that is because, in all honesty, we have societies, we have communities all over the United States. You have the Asian community. You have the Latino community. You have the Black, African-American community,
mm-hmm.
the Caucasian community. We have all these communities.
Right.
And, a wise elder once told me that something we don't have is cultural barriers. And economic, cultural barriers.
Uh-huh.
And by that, a central point, central practices that a community rally behind, because if you look at the word community, you look up the definition, you look up the history of the word, the etymology of the word, and you get to seeing that the word community stood for a fellowship,
mm-hmm.
something like a society, people you constantly had interaction with, and, a certain
People who you trusted.
People who you trusted. It was a commonality you had with them. There was something common. To use the word common is in there. So there was something that commonly brought y'all together. And, something like Chinese New Year brings the Asian community together. I know a lot of Asians who are Chinese who practice and celebrate Chinese New Year.
Correct.
A lot of other Asian communities who, different ethnicities in Asia follow the Chinese calendar.
Right.
So,
because it's all the same community. It's the Asian community. Correct, yeah.
And that's the same for the Latino community as well. We know about Dia de Muertos. That's one thing in their community that they do. There's several other dates and holidays and special occasions that go on which require you to buy cultural foods. Who do you buy those cultural foods from? Your store. Because more than likely they're not going to have your particular cultural things necessarily at the main grocery store.
I agree.
So cultural barriers, from what an elder once told me, really has to do with locking in a certain amount of funds that only are going to circulate in your community. They're never going to leave.
Right.
So when you have your social capital lenses, that's why I thought it was important to go social cultural capital lenses on there. So I think all three of these points, if answered, will get us in the direction because our community, is going to be what we put into it. And I think we need to start talking about how, in different ways, to put energy into our community, be it financial, be it volunteering, be it, economic, be it whatever.
Right.
How do we make it go? What's that game plan? And in all honesty, all three of these, community building, community action, cultural and social capital lenses, all require one thing: defined understanding and viewpoint. And to me, for us as African people and African American people, we do not have a viewpoint in unity. We got Moorish, 5%. We got Hebrew Israelites. We got Nation of Islam. We got several different Kemetic sects of people.
Correct, yeah.
We have the good old Christians. We got people who happen to be Jewish and people who are Islamic and people who even study Buddhism.
Right.
So, we got people who have gone in just our black community in so many, and we got people who really Afrocentric and who really hold to African spirituality. So we have all these things and they define it so much. The one thing we need is a centered viewpoint to make all this go down. What is that viewpoint going to be? When you have, and that's the question I have for you, brother. What is that view? What do you think that viewpoint can be, so that we can start moving more like a school of fish in our actions? Because that's one thing we as a community and other communities do, and we don't. In my opinion, we don't move as a school of fish. If we did, we would have had better responses for a lot of the shootings and stuff that is going on.
Right.
So, what do you think about that?
I agree with you on that one. I totally agree with you on that one. Do you think within the next 4 to 5 years, matter of fact, I told my friend today, I said, I believe in 5 years, blacks are going to, a lot of blacks are getting more conscious now than what we have ever been in a long time. And I told him today, I said, I think in 5 years, blacks are going to start becoming way more conscious than what we are now. And he gave me a look, and I started laughing, right? Because I know that look that he has. He was like, nah, T, we too stuck back. And I agree. We all too stuck back. But I believe in 5 years, with everything that's coming out, everything that people are talking about, everything that people are saying, and what, like myself and what you, like we are in the community, we're doing things. We're always bringing some type of activity to life. We're doing it every day. I do believe that this here community building that we're doing and the community engagement is a door for everyone in our community to start believing, not just with us, but amongst themselves, to get out there and do something. And that goes into everybody becoming a school of fish. I don't want to say fish. I want to say sharks. You know what I'm saying? I want us to get it.
Sharks don't really roll together.
Well, no, I'm talking about not sharks. I'm talking about killer whales. Yeah.
Something that's packaged.
The killer whales.
They do get down.
I know they do. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not yeah.
I would have gone with killer whales.
Okay,
killer whales. Hello, hear me still?
I can. Wait a minute. Something's going on.
Okay, never mind. So, one thing I would say is not.
Sister Tamu losing it. She losing it, y'all. She losing it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyway, no, I'm saying,
I told you get that phone fixed.
What? Okay, well, let it go.
You still get.
No, my phone. I got the screen fixed. The screen is fixed.
She hasn't got the phone fixed, y'all.
The screen is fixed. That's what I said. The screen is fixed. I don't have tape on it no more.
Okay. Tape. You had tape on it?
I broke the screen, and I was like thinking.
You had tape on the phone?
I'm explaining. I broke the screen, and I thought the best way to handle this is to put tape over it so I don't cut my fingers. Because I'm still on the phone, even though the screen is broke. Until I decide to go get it fixed. So
you had blood on the screen?
No, I had cut. Well, it wasn't bleeding, but it was like cut. I cut my finger. You didn't slice your finger. It, but I mean,
you just.
I gotta put some tape on this because I'm still using the phone, and that's true.
Now this is the question I have to ask.
What?
Was it masking tape or was it duct tape that you put on?
The clear tape.
The clear tape?
The clear one.
Okay.
All right. To be clear. I mean, how it wouldn't have worked.
I just had to ask.
It wouldn't have worked. I wouldn't have been able to touch it. So, I was thinking, I thought it was. I sat there and I looked at the two cases, only one, the clear one.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the point. I was going to say, if not school
get that phone fixed. Go ahead.
Killer whales, then like a pack of wolves or just something that moves together like ants, like them ants that be like they take down
people that aren't afraid to just get up and do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have that kind of reality,
right?
And I actually disagree a little bit with your friend. Well, not disagree. I don't even like to use that word. Let me say I like to look at it in a different light. The conscious community in the African, and I'm gonna just only speak of the Africans which were in exile and who are we over here in America. I'm just talking about us in particular.
Right.
The conscious movement here has been alive since we got here.
That's true. I agree.
Called the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Underground Railroad goes through the times untold. If you really do, they don't really know when it started. Mm-hmm. It ain't, down there like that, So all them tunnels and them trails, them slaves make them trails to all them different plantations. We don't know how long that's been happening, but we do know that, instinctively we've been practicing our own, having our own conversations, speaking under moonlight, that's how it was. Nat Turner's just the story that everybody knows then. That came from a conscious community. It took a lot of, people to plan stuff like that.
True.
And like I said, even after the days of slavery and, Reconstruction, we've always had a conscious community. You go back, you see some of the most conscious black books come out of the age of 1920. There's some books from back there.
That's true.
A lot of, spiritual books and whatever, during the days of Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
So I feel like the conscious community is deeply ingrained. It just got to a really good place, I guess, in the 70s and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
It had always existed. We had always, we kept our spirit, the spirit of our ancestors alive and our consciousness alive for a very long time. That ain't something that was created in the 60s and 70s and what have you, So I want to say that, if you look at the history now.
Right.
Look at the history of it. Us waking up in a global movement of that waking up in 5 years. Okay, we've been doing this for 100.
That's true.
I think it's time.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we've been doing it for, this community's been here for a while.
And you know what? I can see his point also, and the brother, because the brother bad, man.
I didn't say he ain't.
No, I know. The brother bad. The brother is bad, man, and I respect him. I respect him to the fullest. And I can see his point, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a visionary.
I hear it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like to get up and do it. And when I see people, especially kids,
yeah.
I love to see that. And we have to cultivate the next leaders
for the next generations, to come.
Most important, right?
Right.
Most important.
So, we want to set that stage for the younger generation so they can have a better way for the whole family, plus their family. You know what I mean? We steady spreading out. You know what I mean? So you have to put the spotlight on them. All that is community building, community engagements. You know what I mean? Social capital. We have to get that together. I totally agree with you. So we're gonna take us a 2-minute break. All right, me and Tamu is about to take us a little break, so just hold tight. And if you want to call in, guys, I'm going to have the lines open, so you can call us at 347-327-9705. Once again, it's 347-327-9705, so we can hear your thoughts and your opinions, all right, about what we're talking about tonight. Hopefully you can also encourage somebody to get up and do something yourself. All right, now. Peace. Talk to you in a little bit. Family, we're back.
Hey.
Peace, and shalom, family. We back, and we did a little research on the Underground Railroad. See how long that's been. Did you pull that up, T?
Yeah, I did, because I started talking about it, and before I get into the age of the Underground Railroad, I just wanted, because we were talking about community.
Right.
So just for people who's just joining us, we were talking about 3 topics, in particular: community building, community engagement, and social, cultural, capital lenses. How do we get started in these 3 areas? So I thought of the time when our community was at its strongest. And to me, during the era of the Underground Railroad, it was. And the reason I say that is because I want us to really think about what that was, to have secret channels and tunnels circulating from top of country to bottom. You got to really conceptualize that. There were routes all the way into Canada. There were routes into Mexico.
That's true. There are routes all over this place.
There were routes all over this place.
Let's be honest.
Right? So that's the entire eastern coast.
The true trailblazers.
What I'm saying? The true trailblazers. That's there,
All right.
So, we know about Harriet Tubman, but that's the end era. That's like 1870s. That's the end.
Right.
The Underground Railroad, they don't know when it started, basically. They became aware of them in the 1800s. But we know for a fact slaves been running away long before the 1800s and was getting away.
That's right.
And where'd they go?
Ashe.
I
agree. You guys got to call in. 347-327-9705. Let us know your thoughts and your opinions on this here. But go ahead, Sister Tamara.
No worries. No, I was just saying, let's really think this through in terms of a strong community. That was some very sophisticated ingenuity.
Yep.
It required astrological navigation.
Yep.
And we know for a fact they call it the drinking cord. That was the Big Dipper. They knew the Big Dipper before they got here.
Yes.
That's why they knew it when they was here.
Right.
And they knew which way to go because of that, and the North Star. So the ability to read the stars, and if you, at that time, to read the stars, you knew what grew where, so there was some agriculture involved. They knew, I found out that it's black pepper.
Mm-hmm.
They used to pour down black pepper.
Yeah.
So the dogs couldn't follow them.
Right.
So, how'd you know that? I always think this through, like, how would you have known that?
Because we are the true.
We are the what?
The true. Herbal.
The herbalist?
Yes.
We are the original.
I couldn't remember the name of it. Yes.
Right. But I think you hit the nail on the head.
That's right.
You're very right. And I just feel like we need to take some stuff from them time in terms of, we were communicating on telepathic ways. They had quilts that were like signposts and told certain slaves, you look at this quilt, you knew who was on that plantation, who was down, who wasn't.
Yeah.
You knew which way to go, where the safe house was. That's ingenious.
True.
And you have to understand these people being treated like animals. So, I just feel like our community was at its strongest when we were the most threatened, when we were in the most worst conditions. So that's ironic, but I think we can mirror a lot of how we were treated then with how we're being treated now, and we need to really look at our ancestors and like, whoa.
I agree.
Let's start vibing on some very, not necessarily secretive, but on that wavelength where, to be able to do what they did was very courageous. It took a lot of intelligence.
Yes.
So how about we use the same intelligence of the Underground Railroad and do some economics here?
On that community building. No. That's what it is. Community engagement, social.
Social, cultural, capitalist lenses.
There you go. And I'm going to explain it to you guys once again what it is. Community building, field of practices directed towards the creation or enhancement of the communities amongst individuals within a regional area. Community engagement, friendly relationships among family and friends. Social, cultural.
Social, cultural capital lenses.
I got to catch it. Creates a sense of belonging, thus enhancing the overall health. The overall health, once again, say it with me, the overall health of the community. Mm-hmm. All right? So if you guys want to know more, because we only got 3 minutes, we got to get out of here. It's only a 30-minute show. I know you guys want us to be on here a little longer, but it's only a 30-minute show. All right? If you guys want to know more, you guys can just YouTube Amos Wilson, the brother, the king, our ancestor, Amos Wilson, how society promotes violence in the black community, or you can YouTube Amos Wilson again with economics and power. And me and Tamu, we're going to leave y'all with this, right? We have to seek truth. We have to seek answers. We have to seek determination and tools to fix the problems in our communities, right? True teaching is not an accumulation of knowledge. It is an awakening of consciousness which goes through successive stages. All right? That's from ancient Egypt, man. I just want to take this time and say thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes, and we'll be back next week.
Next week.
Same time and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this, and it's just a little taste of what's to come next.
That's right. Next Thursday, 7:30. All right. I will see you guys then. Talk to you then. All right, now.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Blessings.
Peace.
I don't mind the 30 minutes.